Father God, we thank you for this beautiful morning that you've given to us. And God, we're grateful for these men who have stepped out today to come and build this ramp, keep us safe, that we'll work together well, unified by Jesus Christ. And we ask all this in his name. Amen.
Now we're ready. Now we're good.
On April 28th of this year, North Carolina Baptists made history by building 327 wheelchair ramps in a single day. The frail, aging who were trapped, unable to leave their homes, found new freedom. As part of Rampin Up, nearly 3,000 North Carolina Baptists and 63 Baptist associations shared the love of Jesus in a very real way. More than 200 churches and groups got up early, and many stayed late, to make this record-setting day a reality. Rampin Up is a day I'll never forget because of one man named James. My name is Michael Ferguson. I'm the senior pastor of Greenwood Baptist Church in Thomasville, North Carolina. Our church that day was involved in a couple of ramp builds. I stopped by one site to see how things were going. The team was building a ramp for James, a wheelchair-bound 85-year-old man. While the team worked outside, James and I visited inside the home. And so I just said, tell me a little bit about yourself. And James began to share about his family and about his growing up, and shared a lot about some of the heartache that he had. And he said, I just don't understand why so many people would be willing to give up a Saturday. And I said, well, James, the reason that they're here is because they want to show you the love that God has shown them in Christ. And I said, James, well, let me just ask you a question. If you were to die tonight and you were to stand before God and he was to look at you and say, James, why should I let you into my heaven? What would be your response to God? He said, I don't know what I would say. And then he said, I probably need to get saved. I could hear in the background the whirl of the blades of the saw cutting the ramp and the pop of the nail guns, and it just became almost overwhelming for me that I just led him in that prayer. And in the prayer, he said, I confess Christ as Lord. And so I went outside and I explained to him that James had prayed to receive Christ, and everybody was so energetic and so ready to go. And it kind of struck me as I was standing there on the ramp that they were completing, that as they were building a ramp that led out of James' house so he could go to the doctor and to the grocery store, that God had given us an opportunity to build a ramp for him from this earth to eternity because of the ramp that Christ had given them to bridge that gap. Just a little over 2 months later, James stood before the Lord and answered that question as he was welcomed into heaven on July 3rd, 2012. When we all get to heaven, I believe that Christ is going to turn to those 10 men and women and lavish rewards on them because they were the hands and feet. They were the avenue that opened up an opportunity for me just to come in and share the gospel. Ramp It Up. 327 wheelchair ramps built in a single day. Nearly 3,000 North Carolina Baptist volunteers. Many lives touched. James saved for eternity.